I'm John P from CageAmateursUK.com. This is Jason Young. He's flown in from the United States to fight on B-Bad Productions B-Bad 7 in Plumstead on the 22nd of March. Dramas, Jason. Dramas. That's the only word that can describe it. How was it from your side? We were flapping big stuff.
Yeah, I was very nervous. I'm just glad I'm here. It just adds to the drama of this fight.
It's added, isn't it?
You know what I mean? It's going to go down in the history books like, you know, this fight almost didn't come off, but it's already going to be a classic fight, you know, between two good guys and two tough guys with a lot of heart.
Definitely. So. You're looking forward. James McCrory's, he's had quite a few fights in his time, both gloved and ungloved. But what's your sort of history?
You know, I've been a fighter my whole life. I don't have quite a storied career like he does, you know, especially with documentation as such, like with YouTube videos and what have you. But I feel like I'm the more skilled fighter. I'm the bigger fighter. And with his heart and my heart, it's going to be a hell of a fight.
I mean, there's been, on Facebook, there's been plenty of sort of like haters. Didn't think, to be fair, at first I didn't necessarily think you was going to turn up. I didn't know you, and so often people don't turn up. That's the problem. But you have turned up, and you're a nice guy. James is a nice guy. So the haters really need to shut up. Now you're here. You're confident.
Very much so.
And ready to go, yeah?
I'm very ready to go. And I'm sure James will be too.
Oh,
and you know, nobody I'd rather be fighting. He deserves it. I deserve it. You know, he's the UK champ. As far as I'm concerned, he's the greatest bare-knuckle boxer in the world. And I just want to make my mark, you know what I mean, and show people that there's other tough guys out there.
Without giving any sort of techniques away or anything.
Oh, not at all.
You study the same style that Bruce Lee used to study?
Correct. My Sifu was Jerry Poteet. He died in 2010. He was an original Bruce Lee student. So yeah, I bring something completely different to the bare-knuckle boxing game, and everybody's going to see that March 22nd. I haven't revealed what I'm going to do, what I do. You know, me hitting the heavy bag on Telemundo, just messing around. You know, I've seen some comments, people saying, "Oh, keep your hands up" and everything. I don't really give a damn what anybody says, because people are always going to have opinions. People are always going to doubt you. At the end of the day, none of that matters. What matters is what happens in that pit when it's me and him, me and James. That's it.
It's a lot of attention, isn't there? I mean, there's quite a big following in the States. I mean, apart from your family, I think it's sort of got really quite big, isn't it?
I've never had so many people contact me in my life.
Hey, what's your
you know, it's crazy. I mean, I'm not used to it. I'm not.
It's been quite a surprise, really. I mean, it has. I was talking to Andy earlier, and there's been like 300 people message him, and that's a hell of a lot. You know, it's still really in its infancy,
and the fight hasn't even gone off yet. Yeah,
and it hasn't even started. No, I mean, Andy's, as you know, Andy's struggled along, and he's on B-Bad 7, which is, you know, can't be. No one can take that away. Whatever else happens, and I know he's struggled. We've been sort of with B-Bad since the beginning, and I think this is going to be the turning of bare-knuckle boxing.
Oh, it definitely is. You know, coming across the Atlantic, I mean, it's a big deal. You know, Americans, just like you guys probably are, like, you want to see something before you get excited about it. You know, the hype and everything is one thing. But when people actually realize, okay, I'm on the bus on my way to Vegas for my flight, once they realize, okay, now I'm in London, people are getting excited. You know, people know this is going to happen, and there's no more excuses. You know, people out there, you're always going to have haters that want to talk.
Of course.
That are going to try and discount you. They're going to act like they deserve a title shot, whatever. But, you know, I've been with B-Bad from the beginning, you know, and, I mean, this is my first fight with B-Bad. But I've seen how much it's grown, you know, from B-Bad 1 and where it's gone. I mean, it's only going to get bigger and better.
I mean, it's had to grow, really, to sort of get you over here, isn't it? We was lucky Louise come along, and she's...
Well, and then you have Donald McPhee, the first guy from Scotland coming over for B-Bad, so that's another big deal.
It's unbelievable, really. Where it's actually come from. I mean, the first show we went to, I remember them sort of more or less barricading the door. You know, because the police turned up, but... It's moved a long, long way, and I mean, everyone's aware of it. Customs and excise are aware of it.
Yeah, actually, the customs officer, the immigration officers said they want to watch, so they're into it.
They was kind enough to extend your passport and everything.
Extended 6 months,
so that worked out quite well, all said and done.
Oh yeah.
Win or lose, will you be back for another one?
Of course.
That's the question.
You know, win or lose, of course I'll be back for another one. I don't think I'm going to lose. That's not even in my mindset, you know, it's not even an option to me, but I'm sure James is thinking the same thing.
Yes, indeed.
You know, we both have a lot of heart, we both have skills, you know, we're both tough, and we're both gentlemen, so it's going to be a great fight, you know, he's definitely going to be a friend no matter what, so.
How do you feel about gloved boxing? Do you know, compared?
Glove boxing kind of takes away from what I like to do, but yeah, I mean, I don't mind glove boxing. It's definitely not as natural to me. Bare knuckle boxing is much more natural. You know what I mean? I like to feel, you know, the bone on bone. I love that.
It's
you know what I mean?
totally
love it.
To me,
you don't have these pillows to put up on your face to protect your face. You know, I'll punch through that guard with bare knuckles. You know what I mean?
I mean, I'm not a fighter, but it's totally different techniques involved, isn't there? I mean, you're not going to go hitting someone on the head.
Well, it's like Floyd Mayweather Jr. Floyd Mayweather Jr. is one of my, you know, people are going to hate me saying this, but he's one of my favorite boxers. You know, he's got a lot of skills, but he also has really weak hands. So if he was to do bare knuckle boxing, he just couldn't do it because his hands would break all the time. You know what I mean? He still breaks his hands a lot with gloves on.
Right.
But it's completely different with gloves and without. So if you're a great boxer or whatever, it doesn't always transition into being a great bare knuckle fighter.
Right. Due to different techniques.
John L. Sullivan's an exception. Right. He was the last, you know, heavyweight bare knuckle boxing champ, and then when they converted the rules over, he was the heavyweight glove boxing champ for a decade.
I mean, you're a big old lad. Have you thought about doing MMA or anything? Because with UFC here,
I just
on telly last
of course. I love fighting. I love proving what I can do. You know what I mean, and proving my worth against another human being. I love that. I love that aspect of it. You know, I've played a lot of team sports in my life as well, but I love the aspect of it's just you and him.
Yes.
You know, I tune out the crowd. I tune out everybody, and it's just straight focus on that person that I'm fighting.
So we've got 2 weeks now, haven't we, into the show? You're going to be lying on the beach, or are you going to...
In 2 weeks?
What's your 2 weeks going to be?
Oh, I'm just preparing for this fight, you know.
Just train.
That's all I'm thinking about, you know. That's all I think about.
You've got friends coming over, I believe, as well.
Yes.
I mean, it's a big journey for you. I mean, 35 hours plus, wasn't it? And that's
a huge just because the bus ride and then waiting in Vegas and then the flight and then immigration, yeah.
So for your friends to come over, that's a big thing, you know.
It's huge. It's huge that they're willing... You know, to come out here.
Expense as well to them as well, isn't it, to come over? I mean, that's a good thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's big.
We're going to do a pay-per-view for people that can't get over, so that should be rather good.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be massive. I think it's going to be more massive than we actually believe.
Of course it will. You know, when you're fighting somebody like James McCrory, a respectable person who people, you know, have a respect for, those are the kind of fighters that you want to see. What? And you know what? And you know, I'm fighting James McCrory, but I like James McCrory. I'm a James McCrory fan. So I'm honoured to be able to fight this guy.
That's
you know what I mean?
That's cool.
Yeah.
What do you think of the general sort of standard? I mean, there's a lot of keyboard warriors in the BKB world. What do you think the general standard of bare knuckle boxing is compared to, I mean, say glove boxing? I mean, they've got levels in glove boxing.
Right now it's horrible because you have people that are sitting on these pedestals that I don't think belong there.
Right. You
know what I mean? Especially from the U.S., you have people like Willie Small, Bobby Gunn. I know a lot of people are going to get mad at me about saying this, but I don't think much of him at all.
Yeah,
he's a blown-up middleweight who can't punch for nothing, and I think he's an actor. You know what I mean? He's a professional boxer, sure. He's all right, but as far as bare-knuckle boxing goes, he's never fought anybody. I'm the American that's coming over here, you know, taking a chance and fighting a really good champion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he says, "Oh, let's put up $40,000 and everything to everybody." But it's like, if he has all that money, why doesn't he just fly out here and fight McCrory then? Because it's about pride. You know what I mean? I'd fight somebody like that, Bobby Gunn, in his backyard for free, just to prove that I'm the better man. And he doesn't like that. He's not gonna like me.
Is that cool? He
doesn't like me.
Or you just?
Oh well, I'm gonna stay focused on what I'm doing right now. I'm not calling anybody out.
Let's see how it goes from there.
There's plenty of people lining up. Don't worry. You know what I mean? I'm not worried about that. But I'm just saying it's frustrating when you have all these people like Bobby Gunn and Willie Small, and I don't want to name some other names, but they discount you. They say, "Oh, you're nothing but a keyboard warrior. You're nobody. You're this and that." Why? You know what I mean? Why do you want to discount somebody to make yourself feel better? Because you're insecure, as far as I'm concerned. You know what I mean? If you're the toughest in the world, why don't you prove it?
That's a good point. It's a good point. There's no sort of organised events in America, is there, at the moment? Isn't it?
No.
Isn't there a problem with it?
Data 5000. Data 5000 does have some events in Perrine, in Miami, Florida. He has some backyard fights. It's bare knuckle, but you know, there's other stuff involved. You can throw, and you know.
It's I mean. There's not a lot on film really with these sort of things.
No.
So it's hard to disprove how good or not you are. I mean, James Quinn has obviously got he did the film Knuckle.
Yeah.
And that was recorded purely by luck, really, by a friend.
His brother's wedding.
But that's really probably the longest record I think anyone could actually. And this is his coat, by the way, that he let me have.
That looks familiar. That was one of his profile pictures at one time.
Yes, it was. Okay. Yeah, I asked him for it last B-Bed. Thanks, James.
Nice.
So, I mean, he's probably got the best record of on video, I would say, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to document this kind of stuff. Like, I could go ahead and make a bunch of videos and fight anybody I want and whoop them in front of the camera. Does that make me a legend? No. But fighting organized events like this and for the whole world to see, you know what I mean?
It's a different. It's
a whole different ballgame.
Different things are really backstreet.
That's what you call. That's what I call documentation.
Yeah.
I don't call a YouTube video like how Kimbo Slice was doing documentation, where he's fighting these big fat guys who can't even fight for nothing.
Yeah.
They can't. These guys can't fight. You know what I mean? Kimbo Slice, when he went into the MMA world, that's why he got his ass kicked so many times, because he's not legit. You know what I mean? You're not legit because you put up YouTube videos of fighting guys that don't have skills. It doesn't make you a legit fighter. What makes you a legit fighter is fighting for things like Be Bad. I mean, now the sanctioning, you know, this is a legal event. There's going to be all kinds of media coverage, and you know what I mean? We're going to be in a big spotlight, me and James.
Coverage has really picked up. The last show, it was absolutely, it was unbelievable. It was like a media scrum, and people were taking photos while the fighters were fighting, which I disagree. There's some of the crews had lamps on their cameras, and which I don't agree with. But it was like something like somebody going to Hollywood up the red carpet. It was. I've never seen nothing like it.
Oh, I'm sure it's going to be amazing, but at the same time, I probably won't even realize any of that till after the fight's over.
Yeah,
that's the kind of focus I have. You know what I mean?
I'm not. Don't quote him wrong, but I think James said that he just suddenly, afterwards, you realise there's all these unbelievable things to see. I mean, obviously you're a bit busy if you're in the pit, aren't you? So.
Well, yeah, not only that, but I'm just glad to represent the U.S. and represent my city of Salt Lake City, and and coming over here and just bare knuckle boxing in general, because I know a lot of hardcore fans know who Bartley Gorman is and all these other fighters, John L. Sullivan. But if you're not a hardcore fan, you may not know who any of these guys are. No, you may not know James McCrory. No, so I want to change all that. You know what I mean? By bringing a different. I have a little bit of flavor, a little bit of flair to bring to the game, and definitely a different style than what these other guys are bringing. I'm more of a throwback. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? We need to get this sport growing, and a fight like this is going to do nothing but
show balls rolling.
Show two people that are gentlemen shaking hands afterward and have no animosity towards each other, and we're not trying to bring each other down. We just happen to be fighting each other, because if we weren't fighting each other, we'd probably be having a drink in a pub somewhere. And
hopefully we'll do afterwards. But I'm going to finish up here now, because obviously you've got things to do and you're a busy man, and the eagle has landed. So
the bald eagle.
So. I look forward to seeing you on the night. I'll probably see you before, and maybe we'll have a drink once you finish your fight.
Sounds good to me.
Thank you.
Have a good one. Peace out, everybody.